Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. It's Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and we're starting today's Tuesday live show a little bit early because we got an update around Josh Jacobs. I will admit, there are some conflicting reports out there, and we will get into the latest around the Raiders star running back from Tom Pelissero and from NFL insider Jeremy Fowler. Anytime that there are conflicting reports, my job here is to give you my personal opinion on it. So that's going to be the Josh Jacobs update. Then we're going to get into some more Raiders rumors. I'm going to talk about a UDFA. We're going to talk about a breakout candidate and give you my 2 cents on that. As always, we have a Raiders mailbag, so you can use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to get those questions, comments on the show, and then a segment around Bleacher Report. They have 3 free agents that the Silver and Black should sign. I'm going to tell you if I like the free agents, if I don't, but one of the names is really going to surprise you. So the reason why we're going live here a little bit early is because Josh Jacobs, there's a report from Tom Pelissero circulating that Jacobs might not show up to training camp, and it's definitely an intriguing conversation topic because I don't necessarily know if Jacobs is going to hold out. I don't know if they're going to get a brand new contract extension. I don't know if he's going to play on the franchise tag. The only people that know are Jacobs and his agent. So everybody welcome in Jeremy Chuggs. Woo! And go down in the comments right now. Give me your confidence level in Jacobs being at training camp.
Let's go!
I want you to scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being you're not confident at all. 10 being you are extremely confident 100% that he's going to be there. I'm going to give my answer here probably in about 20, 25 minutes or so. But Chuggs, we were just talking about this before the live show started. Where are you at in terms of Jacobs being at Raiders training camp late July? Exactly.
This is a tough one. Because it's like...
Is that a number?
Everything we've heard has been like, you know, you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't really know the interaction between Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, and Josh Jacobs. So I would say I'm at like a 6.9.
Of course you are. All right, let's give some shout-out. I figured I don't even know why I ask you anymore, scale 1 to 10.
It's hard. I mean, giggity, but
what,
it's
the 6.9 is hard or the question is hard?
The question.
I know. That's why I'm asking. Pat says 0. We got Brian Dawes going to go with a 5. Hustlin' Hooligan, 7. John Scheffler, what's up, brother? 5. Juan Hernandez, 10. Venom Sosa, 7. Sussy Crab, 10. Rusty T, FKC. We got Jed Raleigh with a 1. Oscar Serrano, 6. Jaime Alvarado Sr. Let's go, Jaime. What's up, brother? 8. Isaac Hernandez says 3. Diehard Raider fan, 5. Refined Zeus, 6. Randy. I mean, as you guys can see, all of these answers are so split, which really doesn't surprise me when you look at the live poll at the very top of the show. 62% say that Jacobs is going to be at training camp. 38% say no, he's not going to be there. Considering the fact that he's coming off a season where he had over 2,000 total yards, he wants his big-time payday. The Raiders want him to play on a franchise tag. This is going to be the top trending story around the Raiders until July 17th. July 17th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time is when the Raiders and Josh Jacobs have to decide, are you going to play on the franchise tag? Now, we'll continue to talk about Josh Jacobs here in a little bit, but one of the things that I'm going to be discussing here is there's an article out around one of these players about a breakout season, and I'll talk about somebody coming up here. However, out of the 3 players here on screen, who's going to have the best 2023 season? The reason why that I'm showing these 3 guys is they were all drafted early on, right? You got Trevon Merrick entering year 3. You got Nate Hobbs entering year 3. Then Divine Deablo also entering year 3. They've had different defensive coordinators. I think every single Raider fan would sit up here and say that, yes, guess what? These guys have a lot of hype. But I can also sit there on the other side of the fence and say they've also had their times where they have struggled. What I want to know from the nation right now is who out of the players is going to have the best season this upcoming year. If you think it's Divine Deablo, give me a 5. Trevon Merrick, give me a 25. Nate Hobbs, I want you to type 39. Isaac Hernandez spamming 39. Deablo from Anthony Alvin's going to go Divine Deablo. Right now, there are two common answers. It is Deablo and it is Nate Hobbs. I don't know if I've seen a single person throw out the name of Trevon Merrick, which, you know, is what it is type of thing. Chuck Oltz says Nate Hobbs. Gregory, what's up, man, says 1. Nope. Chili Maine, 39. Diehard Raider fan, 39. A lot of different answers flowing in right now. Coming up here on the Raiders Report, I'm going to give you my answer of which player I believe is going to have the best 2023 season. Ooh. That's going to be coming up here in the news and rumors segment of the Raiders Report.
I'm seeing a ton of 39s.
Ton of 39s.
Tons of 39s.
Also, huge shout out to everyone that's tuned in a little bit earlier today because, again, we usually go live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. or, wow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Today, we went live an hour early because of the update and the news around Josh Jacobs, which we will get into, and I'll give you my 2 cents on whether or not I think Jacobs is going to show up to training camp or not. Woo! All right, Chuggs, let's keep this thing rolling. We got 400 people watching, only 89 likes. Brian Darr, tell them what to do. Rebel Montana, tell them what to do. Mario, tell them what to do right now. And guess what? We got our first Super Chat rolling in here on today's show. Remember, if you Super Chat, you get featured up here on the screen right next to me. I don't know who that really sexy guy is in the picture, but he's standing next to somebody who's looking awfully sus in that green jean jacket. What happens if he doesn't sign before the 17th? So if he doesn't sign his franchise tag before the 17th, I think that realistically, to me, the Raiders, there's a better chance that he gets a contract extension than playing on the franchise tag. This is a video that I put out yesterday. You can go check it out, which is one of the biggest reasons why I think some of these people are starting to talk about the new Jacobs updates, which I basically talked about 100% yesterday. So go check it out if you want to see it. But if he doesn't end up signing that franchise tag by the 17th, technically, that's when the holdout's going to begin, right? Like, that's when he's going to stop making money, and he's going to get fined for not showing up to places like training camp. He's not going to be an official player on that roster, and he can hold out if he wants. I'm going to tell you this, though, right now. It's a bad move on his part if he holds out. It's just, he's going to lose money in the end of it. So, Chuggs, today is National Onion Day.
Onion!
And I don't know about you. I love me a good onion.
Purple, yellow, or white?
All the above.
Oh, wow.
On a burger, though, I like the sweet onion.
Big onion guy, huh?
Big onion guy. I'm not going to lie to you. When I was a kid, I used to pull them out of the ground, eat them raw. Like, I can eat an onion like an apple, which maybe is kind of gross.
It's funny you said that because...
Do you guys like onions? Give me a yes or give me a no.
Before the show, I had... we went live a little early, so we didn't really have a Super Chat menu set up for today's show. But I actually had an idea because we had these Funyuns laying around the office.
How long have they been there? You're like the only one that eats them. Funyuns are bad. Funyuns are nothing like onions.
Funyuns are good.
No.
But I was thinking, maybe every $100 we get, maybe like a little Funyun bowl, little Funyun.
What do you mean Funyun bowl? What's like a so?
Like I'm talking
Funyuns in a bowl.
Funyuns, Happy Dad bowl. Every 100. Are you down?
Oh, man. All right, you know what? It's Tuesday. F it. Let's get crazy here. I'm not going to be live on Friday this week. I'm going home to visit the fam, so I figured a great opportunity to do a little Raiders happy hour. I guess we're going to do it here on today's show, but... Well, that came out of nowhere.
Let's go Funyun Happy Hour.
Funyun Happy Hour. It sounds real fun to me. Do you like onions? Give me a yes or give me a no. Jaime Alvarado Sr. says, hell no, not a fan at all. Mario, would you eat liver and onions? No, unless it's in jelly bean form. Then I have had plenty of it.
Grilled onions.
Oh, grilled onions are amazing. But again, like I'm talking a raw onion, I can do it. I like onions.
And you like that more than Funyuns?
Yes. I would rather eat, like if you told me would I rather have an onion on a burger or Funyuns on a burger, I'll take an onion every single day of the week.
Oh, I don't know. Funyuns are pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to respectfully disagree.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with your disagreement.
Here we go. We're going to keep this show rolling here. How about this? Final question, and then we'll get into the latest going on around Josh Jacobs. Do you think the Raiders are trying to win this season? Type W for win, type T for tank. The segment that I have coming up here around 3 free agents is from Bleacher Report, and literally in the Bleacher Report article, they say that the Raiders are not trying to win games. And what do they hint at? Well, they hint at a YouTube video that they saw about Josh McDaniels not having to win football games. So I thought that was a little bit funny. And I decided.
What Raiders YouTuber were they?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Oh.
It was weird, but yeah.
His name rhymed with Mitchell Renz.
Really? Sounds like he's a yinzer. So we got my opinion is type in T. W for Jaime Alvarado Sr. I don't know what's going on with Venom Sosa here. He's scrubbing the poop deck. Chat is split. Can we poll it for are the Raiders trying to win?
Okay.
We can do that, Rebel. You can make some rolls around here. Raider Muerte says, yes, they are trying to win. Keystone Raider 1982.
I actually didn't tell you two things, Mitch.
Oh, God.
And I'm sorry.
Now I'm getting nervous.
So the other thing was,
okay,
our Knicks channel has been talking a lot of shit.
All right.
And they just messaged me.
Okay.
They're watching our stream right now. They just messaged me.
Okay.
Raiders ain't shit. I'm not kidding you.
You know what's funny about that?
They just messaged me, Raiders ain't shit.
The other day when we were on the NBA draft over there, they were like, the Raiders wish they could beat us. And they had a hell of a show. Like, their draft show was pretty insane. I'm not going to lie to you. But I don't even think Knicks now wants this smoke. Like,
they literally just texted me, Raiders report ain't shit.
I just feel like people try to get underneath our skin.
They always come for the top dogs.
All right, well then how about this? We'll do a super chat battle with Knicks. You can send it over to them. We'll go until, I don't know, like an hour-ish from now. How about 6:30 p.m. Eastern time? Loser does a boot.
They literally just messaged me and they said, I bet you we'll beat you in supers. Loser does a boot on the other show.
You guys in? Isaac Hernandez is in. Isaac Hernandez says, hold my beer, $50. We're taking down the Knicks. I mean, can we really? This is what they want to do? I don't know. I think it's a bad decision on their part.
They're coming from up. They had a really good week.
Yep.
I'm not going to take it away from them. They had a good week.
Okay.
And they're feeling really ballsy right now. Hashtag Manscaped.
Mario, who's matching? If you guys send in a soup, we're doing shout-outs, and remember...
Do you have another Happy Dad up there?
We're doing Funyuns.
I'll take a drink for every super chat that comes in.
Isaac, if you throw in another 50, I'll pour up a Happy Dad Funyun bowl, and then we'll really get this party started. Mario, what up, my brother? Who's matching? If you also want to put in some questions in there when we get into the mailbag a little bit later on, please... Hashtag Raiders, or you can super chat. Oh! Raider Muerte! Bang! I don't know how this is going to work. Funyuns in a bowl. Here we go.
Alan Spice, WTF is a Knicks.
F 'em. F 'em. Raider Muerte, put him on the Boot Hall of Fame.
Steve Richardson, I'll drink to that as well. Alan Spice, WTF is a Knicks. Exactly. Exactly.
I'm going to be honest. That's not good.
No?
You might like it.
Not a fan.
I mean, this might surprise you, but wild cherry and Funyuns, not the best combo. Oh, my God. All right. We got a little bit of a lead here. So this is what I want to do. I want to get into the Josh Jacobs news. And if the Knicks, they try to come back at us, we're going to make some deal. We'll do 2 o'clock or some shit like that. And we'll just show them that, let's be real here. They don't got a chance. They don't got a chance.
I mean, they came out very confident.
Yeah, well, that's Marshall. It's June for Marshall. It's a big month for him. So, 430 people are watching. If you haven't already hit that like button, please make sure you do so right now.
Before we start, did you send Sperry the thumbnail?
Yes, I did.
Sweet.
He's got all the info. Who are the Knicks? Yeah, if you guys just want to spam F Knicks this entire show, I'm okay with it. But I want to get to 200 likes on this thing. Huge shout out to Raider Muerte for being the MVP so far at today's show. Anthony, let's get it going. F the Knicks. Raider Nation all day, baby. I mean, I know Knicks fans are crazy fans, but there's a different level of crazy, right? Like, there is the level that Raider fans are the best fans in all sports, and I will go to bat for that. I do the show every day with y'all, and even when you meet people in person, Raider Nation is unmatched. You know what, though? I am a man of deals, so Isaac Hernandez, send in a 50 right now, and we're going to bang. I got Giggity, Steve Richardson, Anthony, you two as well. Let's get it going. Let's get some drinks flowing. I'm taking down Knicks now. I don't want to just beat them. I want to embarrass them. I want to embarrass them.
I want to put them in the dirt.
I want to put them in the dirt as well. All right, so coming up here on the Raiders Report, we're going to get into the latest around Josh Jacobs. Then we're going to get into a Raiders mailbag, and then we got a segment around 3 free agents that the silver and black, correct, that the silver and black should apparently sign according to Bleacher Report. I'll give you my 2 cents on all of that, and then if the Knicks still want to compete with us, we'll see how close that they are. Chuggs, you ready to get this thing rolling?
Let's get to some Raiders rumors. Let's go.
Coming up right now, the latest around Josh Jacobs. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and today's show is presented by Manscaped. If your Zon is, well, not a long Zon, it's probably because you don't use Manscaped products. Use code Raiders to save 20% off and get free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. Coming up here on the Raiders Report, we got a brand new Josh Jacobs update, but here's the thing. Conflicting reports from NFL insider Tom Pelissero and NFL insider Jeremy Fowler. I'm going to tell you what both of those guys had to say about Jacobs. Then, more Adam Plant Jr. hype. Is he going to make the 53-man roster? I've been talking to my guy. And the Divine Deablo breakout season up and coming. All of these answers will be featured here on today's show. Now, a friendly reminder, we're trying to get to 138,000 subscribers by the end of June. It's getting close. If you're watching this video live, Knicks Now has been laughing at us this month, and they're even laughing at us on today's live show. Well, guess what? We need 180 more subscribers to get there. If you want to join the fam, please hit that subscribe button. So let's talk about the reason why we went live early today on the show. It's because of this report here from Tom Pelissero. At this point, if there's not a long-term deal, I don't anticipate Jacobs being there at the start of training camp, and I don't know that he shows up week 1. As soon as that report came out, I saw people just start to hit the panic button. Yes, it is scary to think that you might not have Jacobs on your roster come training camp. I get it. He's got until July 17th, 4 p.m. Eastern time to sign the tag, and even if they don't get that tag signed, maybe there's a contract extension even after that, right before training camp, which happens in late July. But it's the week 1 statement. Not having Jacobs in week 1 means that he's going full-blown holdout, and he can hold out all the way up until week 8. So, is Josh Jacobs going to be at Raiders training camp when the Raiders finally report in late July? Here's the answer. I'm going to give it 3 just win babies, and I do think that it is pretty likely that number 8 is on the Raiders sidelines. Why? Because what Pelissero put out is not what I have been hearing. What I have been hearing is a lot closer to what Jeremy Fowler reported, that the Raiders are pretty hopeful Jacobs will be there. The deadline for players who receive franchise tag to sign a long-term extension is July 17th. And with all of this, I will admit, the reason why I am giving it 3 just win babies is if you've watched the show, I would say in the last week or two, I have said that there is a 55% chance that he gets a contract extension. And then there is a 40% chance that he plays on the franchise tag. The reason why I am confident that he's going to be at training camp is because I'm confident that Dave Ziegler is going to work his contract magic and make sure that Jacobs is happy and that he's there on this team. Unless the Raiders aren't trying to win. If the Raiders aren't trying to win football games, then yeah, Josh might hold out. And if he holds out, he's not going to be on this team this season. That I can promise you. Now, this is the report from Jeremy Fowler on Jacobs, and this report came out this morning. I have not sensed a lot of momentum for a deal coming down the pipe right now. Jacobs recently tweeted, "Bad business," which is not a good sign that things are going all that well. Certainly, a $10.1 million tag would be available to him. I'm told the Raiders are pretty hopeful that he would show up to camp even if they don't get a long-term deal done, but they have to negotiate in earnest leading up to that deadline. The biggest thing that I think Pelissero is not talking about and that Fowler is talking about is, yes, Las Vegas wants Jacobs to play on the franchise tag, and yes, Jacobs wants a contract extension. Both of these answers, when you hear me say that, when you hear anybody say that, the first thing that should come out of your mouth is, well, no shit. Jacobs obviously wants the long-term deal. The Raiders obviously want him to play on a 1-year deal. But what Pelissero is not saying is Jacobs has flat out said he wants to be a Raider. And I know people inside of Jacobs' camp that have told me Jacobs wants to be a Raider. And I know the Raiders want Jacobs to be a Raider. Like, that's a big part of the conversation that people continue to miss. That's what Josh McDaniels had to say at June minicamp around the Raiders star running back. The deadline for a long-term deal is not until July. I respect everything about that process. This is not the first time that's happened in terms of me being a part of that. Like I said, I stand by what I said before. Love the kid, love the player, love the person, look forward to when I see him. And I'll also say this, because I know there's going to be people that are saying like, well, Mitch, McDaniel said that Darren Waller was going to be a part of the team. You're right. But I'm going to be flat out honest with you. McDaniels did not have the relationship with Waller like he does with Josh Jacobs. Like, that is just as 100% honest as could be. And when you look at a lot of the things that happened to Waller, even before the season, when players voted to take away his captain status, I said on this show, that's a big, like, light bulb needs to be going off in your head. Like, something's going on here. Like, Waller was a hell of a player, but there was something going on. This organization, these players, they want Jacobs on this roster, and I think that's going to be a big thing. However, one of the things that McDaniels did say in that quote, which I thought was interesting, and I decided to do a little bit of a deeper dive on it, was he's like, hey, I've been here, I've done that with the whole franchise tag thing. So what did I do? Did a little bit of digging. Here are the Pats franchise tags with Josh McDaniels. Obviously, he was the offensive coordinator for most of these years, but he was a part of this staff, and if we've learned anything with Ziegler, guess what? They try to do the Patriot way. So when you look here, in 2020, the Patriots franchise tagged Joe Thuney. He ended up playing on the tag. In 2015, they franchise tagged Stephen Gostkowski, the kicker, who actually signed an extension. In 2012, Welker, tag. Asante Samuel played on the tag. Adam Vinatieri played on the tag. Bucky Jones was traded. Adam Vinatieri, extension. So essentially, out of those 7 years that the Patriots gave a franchise tag when McDaniels was a part of that coaching staff, 57% of those players played on the tag, 29% of those players signed a contract extension, and then 14%, one of them, was traded. But if there is one thing that is a little bit different, which, let's face it, there is, now McDaniels is a head coach. And only one time when McDaniels was a head coach, that the team that he was the head coach of, Denver Broncos, FDEM, they had a player sign the franchise tag. That was Elvis Dumervil. But then they gave him a 5-year extension. This goes back to 2010. All I know in terms of the numbers is from the time that McDaniels has either been some part of a coaching staff / head coach, 8 players have been given the tag while he's been a coach. 50% played on the tag, 38% signed a contract extension, 12% were traded. You can do what you want with those numbers, but I'm a big-time person where I like to apply certain things. And I also know that what has McDaniels done the moment that he's been a head coach? He's taken what he's learned from past regimes, from Bill Belichick, and he's applied it directly to the Raiders. They have done the Patriot way, and now they are applying it to this Raiders team. So with all that information, with the Fowler quote, with the Pelissero quote, this is going to be the pinned comment on today's Raiders Report show presented by Manscaped. What is your confidence level in Jacobs being at training camp? Scale it from me from 1 to 10. 1 being you're not confident at all. 10 being you are very confident that he's going to be there. My answer is an 8. And I am confident that Jacobs will be on this Raiders team this upcoming season. I am confident that both sides, when the deadline gets closer, deadlines make deals. Keep saying that out loud. Think about the NFL in general. There's the NFL trade deadline. Think about how many players get signed at the NFL trade deadline. When deadlines come up, that's when deals start to happen. Hell, I can even go back and say, remember when there was a homework assignment in high school? What about at work? Oh, it's not due till Friday? All right, I'll probably do it Friday. That's how a lot of people operate. That's how a lot of people work. And for this Raiders organization, there's a time off period right now. Players are not around. Coaching staff, they get to hang out with their family. The closer and closer that deadline gets is when a deal will get done. And I will continue to say, I believe a contract extension does end up happening. And if it doesn't, Jacobs will play on the franchise tag because he realizes this. The demand for running backs right now is very, very low. At the end of the day, supply and demand. The demand for running backs making over $10 million, I'm sorry, it's not there. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, Adam Plant Jr., the hype train, choo-choo, is keep on going here. And I got a really fun story around the Raiders UDFA. But guess what? I would not be able to do today's show if it wasn't for our awesome sponsor, Manscaped. And I'm shaving my longs on. And I want you guys to also get rid of that George W. and really let the Ken Stabler out, especially with 4th of July right around the corner. And I want you to get your hands on the Performance Package, which, if you use code Raiders and go to manscaped.com, it's only $103.99. And this is an unbelievable deal. You get the ball toner, the ball deodorant, the weed whacker to get all those nasty hairs out of your nose and your ears, the lawnmower 4.0 for the downstairs. Manscaped isn't just helping out your belly button down region. They're also really elevating their game from your belly button and up area as well. Studies show from women, so I think you should take that very importantly. Face it, if you don't smell good, you're going to have a lot lower chance of reaching, we'll call it the pylon, the goal line. The Raiders, they struggle in the red zone, and I don't want that to happen to you. So get your hands on some Manscaped products. The link's going to be available for you guys down in the comments and in the description of today's show. Use code Raiders at checkout, manscaped.com. Let's go to the next story here on the Raiders Report. Adam Plant Jr., is he making the roster? I got to give this one to Just Win, babies, and I got to say, people are talking. It is a true coin flip. If the season were to start today, it would be an interesting conversation. However, they're going to have to wait to see a few other things go down. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because Plant was one of 4 Raiders rookies chosen to speak to the media last Thursday at Allegiant Stadium. The other 3 players, the Raiders' first-round pick in Tyree Wilson, he will make the roster. Raiders' 5th-round pick, Chris Smith III, who they love, will make the roster. And then Nesta Jade Silvera, the 7th-rounder defensive tackle, who this coaching staff loves and will make the roster. So you have 3 players and then Adam Plant Jr. speaking to the media at Allegiant Stadium last Thursday. I don't know about you. There's got to be a reason why those 4 players are chosen. Yes or no? Like, do they just want these 4 players for in particular reason? Now, sure. Some of the guys, maybe Michael Mayer was busy. Maybe Byron Young was busy. Maybe Ja'Cory Bennett had something going on. But you know what? I know from talking to people inside of that building, and I also know the way that McDaniels, Chandler Jones, Patrick Graham have spoken about Adam Plant Jr. is that they are impressed with not only his ability to handle his business on the field, but they are very impressed by his ability to handle his business off the field. And when you're trying to change a program, when you're trying to change a franchise, you need players that not only look good on the field, but can handle themselves off the field. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why Adam Plant Jr. was chosen to speak. And I do think that there was a reason that those 4 players were 100% chosen. Tyree Wilson, obviously, 7th overall pick. Chris Smith was regarded as being the leader of the Georgia defense. That's a big step. Nesta Jade Silvera, 5 years of college, has a lot of connections with this Raiders coaching staff. And now you have Adam Plant Jr. All of those guys were chosen for a reason, and I do think it's a story worth covering. So my question to the nation out there is this. Type M for make it, type NM for he's not going to make it. Will the UDFA from UNLV make the Raiders 53-man roster? Type M for make, NM for no make. So if the season started today, I would say yes. If the Raiders had a game today, live here on the Raiders Report, I'm saying he's making it. But we still have to see training camp. We still got to see how the preseason goes down. I know that this team wants to see Jordan Willis. I would imagine when they ended up signing him that they believe that he could be a solid veteran type of rotation player, and they want him to get reps. So the fact that he hasn't gotten any yet, I'm not going to overblow it, but if there's one thing that I will always do, and I can remember the day when we were on Hard Knocks, and I was like, Crosby, anytime you want to come on the show, bro, like, please, don't be afraid to. Slides in the DM, says, appreciate everything you're doing. Well, guess what? I've been talking to the Plant family very closely, Dad and Adam himself, and I am really pulling for him to make the roster this upcoming season. I'm a sucker for certain things. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a sucker for a dad who supports his kid. I'm a sucker for a kid who's out there trying to achieve a dream. I'm also a sucker for a dude who is a Raiders fan. And I did stalk a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Maybe this is creepy. I'm on Mr. Plant's IG. I'm looking at some pictures, and that's a Raider for life right there. That's a guy who I'd be willing to take a chance on. Yes, I see how hard he's working at OTAs. I see how hard he's working at minicamp. But when you're rocking a Raiders bib, I think putting on that jersey means something extra to you. And when something means extra to you, you put in the extra time. You put in the extra effort. And you might get that extra 110% to be able to kick it up the extra level. We know that NFL players are unbelievably talented. We know that these guys are freak athletes. Sometimes it just takes that extra 1-2% to turn out to be something great. And I think Adam Plant Jr. is going to help you do that. Let's go to the final story here on the Raiders Report, presented by Manscaped. Divine Deablo is the breakout coming for the third-year linebacker out of Virginia Tech. 3 just win, babies. I do think that it's pretty likely. I almost want to go back 2 months ago and punch myself in the face when that's about a month ago. I released a video about potential busts, and guess what? I talked about Divine Deablo being a bust, and I wish I could go back and drill myself directly in the schnoz because everything I hear, Deablo is going to have his season. And guess what? If he doesn't, well, he's going to be looking for a new team next season. In an article written by ESPN, surprise offseason standouts for 32 NFL teams, Deablo was the player picked for Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler's squad. And it's funny because I have also said that Deablo could be the Raiders' secret weapon. If you're like, Mitch, I don't believe you. The coolest part about running a YouTube show sometimes is you have receipts. And I personally have made a video around Divine Deablo being a potential secret weapon. Before I show you where you can find that, though, remember, ESPN, they wrote this article, and this is what they had to say about number 5. The third-year linebacker, a converted safety, has been granted the green dot on his helmet as the defensive single caller. This comes after he played just 8 games last season due to a broken right arm suffered at Jacksonville. Still, his 74 tackles at the time of his season-ending injury led the Las Vegas Raiders and were tied for 8th most in the league at that time. Now, one of the things that I really like that they say in here is given the green dot, despite playing only 8 games, that shows a lot of confidence. And I know the Raiders love this guy's versatility. They love his toughness. He's put on some extra weight. Deablo's really excited to be able to wear the green dot. And for Patrick Graham, he's got to be looking at this young man right here and saying, if we can just get him to reach his potential, and be that linebacker, strong safety hybrid that this organization, that this team has been looking for a very long time, I really think that you could look at this Raiders defense and be like, wow, this is one of the reasons why they're top 15 this season. Now, before June ends, the one thing I've been telling all of y'all is, hey, if you're a new subscriber, we're going to give you a shout-out. So go check out that secret weapon video. And remember, if you are a new subscriber here, we're going to try to do our best to give you a shout-out. So shout-out to Love, Clutch 2 Real, Mr. Hanky, Poop Scoot, and Boogie, and then Daniel Corona. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a homework assignment. Take the link that you see below and send it to some Raiders fans. Let's keep on looking here at Deablo, and one of the reasons why I do believe in him in terms of being that breakout candidate. So last season, not all that great. 58.4 PFF grade, run defense grade of 71.1, pass rush grade of 54.2. The coverage grade, let's face it, the coverage needs to get better. If you're going to be an every down linebacker in today's league, you got to be a better coverage player. Completion percentage last year against them, 83.3. 252 yards, 3 touchdowns, a quarterback rating. But if there was one thing that I am actually very impressed by, his ability early on in his NFL career, it's his ability to stop the run. So at his 17-game pace last season, he was on pace to get 157 tackles. But something that I have mentioned multiple times on this show before is when you're entering the second year in the Patrick Graham system, third year in the NFL, some things start to click a little bit clearer for you. And Deablo has talked about it, that the system is a lot easier to understand, digest, and instead of going out there and thinking so damn much, now he can just go out there and be an athlete and react, which is going to help out his coverage ability this upcoming season. So when I think of Divine Deablo, I think of 2 other players. I think of 2 other guys in terms of year 3, prove-it time, second year in the Patrick Graham system, third year in the NFL, and it's a prove-it/breakout year. Like, if Trevon Merrick, Nate Hobbs, and Divine Deablo, if they don't prove it this year, the Raiders will try to replace them next year. And if they don't really prove to McDaniels and Ziegler that, hey, I deserve to be here, they will. They will try to replace them through the draft. So my question is this. Out of the 3 players that you see on screen, who's going to have the best season for this upcoming year? If you believe it's going to be Divine Deablo, I want you to type his number, 5. If you think it's going to be Merrick, 25. Or if you think it's going to be Nate Hobbs, 39. After this YouTube ad break, you're going to get my answer. The person that I am the most willing to bet on as it stands right now is Nate Hobbs. And I look at how the Raiders are going to run their defense this year. I know how well he played last season before the injury, and I have the utmost confidence in Hobbs to be that dog. Whether they go out and get a Marcus Peters or not, the defensive line is going to be better. But I'll also admit, Divine Deablo was going to be sneaky good. I want to believe in Merrick, but Merrick really struggled last season in Patrick Graham's system, and I do think out of all these players, he has the shortest leash, where they're going to give Nate Hobbs all the opportunity in the world. They're going to give Divine Deablo all the opportunity in the world. But remember earlier I talked about Chris Smith. They love Chris Smith, the rookie safety out of Georgia. And if Merrick starts to struggle, his leash is going to be a little bit shorter, and then they might put that leash on the other dog, Georgia Bulldog Chris Smith. Now, if you want more updates for the Las Vegas Raiders or even the NFL, you can always hit me up on Twitter, on Instagram. I am literally everywhere at Mitchell Renz 365. And if you're watching this video live, huge shout out to you. If you're not watching this live, remember, we go live every single Tuesday, and we're about to get pretty rowdy here on the Raiders Report. All right, y'all, what is the best cake/ice cream combo in cake? I don't know how you got this question.
It's National Ice Cream Cake Day.
Oh, I didn't read the title. That's on me. You know what? That's on me. That's on me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fair enough. So I would say I'm a big, if I can get something super chocolatey and then like a vanilla type of ice cream, I'm about it. Or if I could get a cake that's got some jam in it with a little bit of lemon ice cream or something like that, I'd be about that as well. Ooh. What do you guys think here? Cookies and cream from Raider Rob.
Vanilla ice cream and cheesecake.
That sounds... I love cheesecake. Cheesecake's probably one of my favorite things out there.
I was saying chocolate cake, mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Sucker-free Leche's cake. That's one of Alex's favorites. Tres Leches, if I think that's how you pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
Tiramisu cake with coffee ice cream.
Ooh.
I'm about that action. Though I actually love cannolis. I don't know if you ever had cannolis with ice cream.
No.
Very good. Very, very good. All right, we got a few super chats that I need to get to here. And I don't know what the updated score is for Knicks if you want to send them something.
Yep,
we'll see what it is. John, Marshall just likes to drink a boot on our channel. He just wants to hang out with the best. John, I could not agree with you more. I think at the end of the day, Marshall knows that Raider Nation gets down and that he doesn't want to challenge us. Are they doing well?
They're doing very well.
Really? All right, hey, I'm about a good challenge here. John, appreciate you. Pat, $5 super chat rolling in for you, supporting us. If you don't know, if you're just joining us live, Knicks Now has challenged the Raiders Report to a super chat battle. And the deal of the day, since it's National Onion Day, is every $100 super chat we get, I am filling up this bowl here with, there's still some Funyuns in here. Funyuns, Happy Dad, and we're knocking down a bowl. That's what we're doing.
Oh, my God.
We're in a hole.
We're getting our ass whooped.
No, I know we are. But, hey, there's a long uphill battle to go.
This is the first time I've seen.
Hey, we're down. They just got a $200 super.
This is the first time we've been down in a while.
I'm not panicking. I know Raider Nation's got our back. I know we got the best fans in all of sports. I
agree.
We got about 45 minutes. 45 minutes, and then this is over, the battle. 45 minutes, and then the battle's over, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we're going until 6:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes, that's what they messaged us.
Losers got to do a boot on on the opposing channel. What?
We got to call Mount Raider more.
Mount Raider more. They might be busy. I will say this. I just saw one roll in from Brandon Jasper. Let's get a little bit of a tuna clock rolling here. We got Redefined Zeus. Hell no, they ain't trying to win because they know they have job security, which pisses off Raider Nation. We deserve better, and Raiders! I really want to believe that McDaniels and Ziegler are trying to win games. And yes, I get the fact that you have job security. But I just can't wrap my mind around the idea of people making millions of dollars and not trying to win football games. Like, the players are still going to try to win. The coaching staff might not put you in the best situation, but this was a Raiders team that they were 6-11 last season, and they blew a lot of leads. If they don't blow those leads, and I do think that the quarterback play this season is going to be better, and if that equation that results in more wins. I am hoping the Raiders are competitive this season. I really, really am. Let's go to Brandon Jasper. Mitch, could you tell us about locals? Well, Brandon, I was live on locals yesterday. I didn't quite see you show up. I was hoping that you could be there, but hey, got to talk to a bunch of the Raiders OGs, Aaron DeVandre, shout out to Isaac. Appreciate everyone that tuned in to yesterday's show. Appreciate it. Oh, I know, they just got another one hundo. Hey, they came out to play today. I appreciate it. They're getting frisky. It's Knicks free, this is big time Knicks free agency period. Oh, I know, we're down.
Will you come over here and say that?
Yeah.
The Broncos host is making fun of us a little bit. We're down big.
Chat Sports Sabermetrics here.
Broncos host.
Knicks Now is curb stomping you guys. Just letting you know the hardcore truth here.
I'm not worried.
It's tough. It's not going to be as bad as the Raiders season is going to be this year.
Yikes.
But it is ugly right now between the Knicks Now channel and Raiders Report. And keep in mind, this is like a David Goliath. Like, just the big ballers at Raiders for starters. But also the size of the channel. Like, size matters. And it's not helping right now. A little more, wave of the ocean over there compared to what's going on here.
They Manscaped?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of Manscaped.
F. Sam and all. I thought this was like y'all's thing, though.
I'm not worried. We're going to be all right. We're going to be fine. We got plenty of time. F. Sam. We got 500 people tuned in to the Raiders Report right now. If you don't know.
At least I don't eat corn the long way.
Debatable. We are in a super chat battle with Knicks Now, and we are down big. So I'm asking, are we here to battle? If not, I get how this goes down, but I will not be live this week on Friday because I'm going on vacation. So if you want to turn this into a happy hour show, we can really, truly do it. All right, y'all. So hashtag Raiders to get on the mailbag, or you could super chat to get your questions featured here on today's live show. Chuggs, I feel like we got to give the nation a little bit of a deal here.
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a clock on there.
Okay.
We're down right now.
I get it.
We're down around.
Rebel says happy hour. Let's get happy hour going.
We're down about a little bit. If we can get collective to 500
right now
before we start the mailbag, I'm doing a boot right now.
Whoo. All right.
If we get to 500 before we start the mailbag, I'm doing a boot right now. I can't let Marshall beat me.
I feel that. Marshall is he's a good shit talker. He is.
Yeah.
He's a really good shit talker. But because of that, I can't have that happen. We can't have that happen. So, we're going to put some time here on the clock. Move today. So, what up, Mitch? This is Killa.
Hey!
What's up, Killa? I changed my channel to a motivational channel, so if you want, that's the season I got you. Hell yeah, man. Move today is now Killa Cruisin'. It's going to take me a little while. It's like you literally changing your name. Like, imagine if we just started calling Jeremy by his real last name.
Smith.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I mean, that would be kind of wild.
Martin, that's a dope chat. He said the artist formerly known as Killa.
How about a tuna clock from Brandon Jasper, Eric M. There's only one nation. I like it.
I'm down.
I'm doing a shot for every 20 here on the Raiders Report. I might have to, you want to go grab me some Fireball real quick?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Every 20 that we get right now, Fireball shot, and we are 200 away from Chuggs doing a boot here on the Raiders Report. Coming up next here on today's show, we're going to get into a mailbag. Tuna clock time. Let's go. Venom says, Hennessy shots, Mitch. If you want me to do tequila, we might be able to get some tequila involved. Venom, I know you always ask, but hey, is there an actual JJ update? Yes, and we just talked about it. So go check it out on the channel there, Natty Cage. We actually don't do what you're saying. Appreciate it, man. Eric M., Brandon Jasper, Killa Cruisin', a.k.a. Move Today. 3 shots for you. We're fine. Raul says, how do I subscribe to this channel? You click the subscribe button, Raul. Is that my dad? What up, Chemo? Yeah, I know. They just got another one hundo. We are down now 300 plus to Knicks now, which you got to understand, this is like prime time NBA free agency compared to the middle of June for the Raiders Report, right? So we're going against their high time. They're coming at us against one of our lower points here of the season, which I respect it. This is their time to shine. Hell yeah, Raider Muerte. They just woke up a sleeping giant. I'll text Mount Raider more. Let me see here.
Just text SOS losing a super chat battle bad.
Okay. We'll see what we get. SOS losing a super chat battle bad. All right, we'll see what we get here. We'll see what we get. I don't know. We ask a lot of Mount Raider more. I already know that. I know we do. Raider Muerte. I don't even remember if I took a shot for you, but
we got to.
We're down. We're down big. At the end of the day.
All I hear is screams from over there.
Which, I mean.
It's making me nervous now.
Well, Mount Raider Moore's a little bit of I think they're on a little bit of a hiatus today. They're taking a day off. What up, Patrick? Mount Raider Moore's undefeated. Raiders Report is, I will say this would be our first loss in a super chat battle in the 3.5 years we've been doing them. Patrick, I do want JJ to be at training camp, of course, but about the defense, in your opinion, can we be a top 15 defense this year? If so, Who steps up when stars go down? You know what, Chuggs? I like this question a lot. If we can put this on the mailbag.
100%.
Cool. So, Patrick, we're going to answer that in the mailbag, and I actually think it's time. Let's get into today's mailbag. You down? Let's get it going.
I was really holding out. For
the boot.
The boot.
I know.
Oh God.
They're up big. Hey.
Dude. We might have been in over our heads. I don't know.
It is NBA free agency.
Oh God.
It's all right. I'm not scared. I'm never scared. 500 people tune in to the Raiders Report. Let's get into today's mailbag. You can use #Raiders or Super Chat. Sounds like you guys are being set up from the Big Veil. Maybe we were, but hey, it's a long day. It's a long day. All right, so this one's going to be Conzuri.
Yeah.
Let's do about 15 minutes or so, and then we'll keep it moving. Sound good? We'll give you an updated look here at the Super Chat battle. But hey, we need to rally the troops here. Just saying. We got to get
the same guy that has been talking shit about Darren Waller going to the Giants this whole time.
That's very true. Yeah, hey, we're going to be all right, though.
That's why it's getting under my skin, because he actually thinks Darren Waller is going to be that good.
If he's healthy, he's going to be a solid player. But I don't think he's going to be healthy. And I don't think anybody here watching thinks he's going to be healthy.
We're down by 400, 477. Mario said, can everyone send $1?
There we go. Krigsby!
Let's go.
All right. If somebody matches Krigsby's 50 right now, I'm doing a beer bong. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? We got to get this thing rolling here. Who's going to match it?
Vibes are low right now.
Who's going to match it? Don't leave Krigsby hanging.
Let's go.
Don't leave Krigsby hanging. Venom, this is as close to a bong rip as I can do live here on the Raiders Report. Don't leave him hanging.
Oh, no.
What up, Venom? What up, Venom?
Let's go! Cass Joey! Bang! $20 away from a boot. Who's got me? Who's got Cass Joey? $20 away from a boot.
Cass Joey is a legend.
Sam, don't you have some big cams to build?
I do have big shit to do.
F Sam.
Rebel said go ahead and check your Venmo.
Oh. I need something. Can you go get it?
What do we need?
I need something that's going to make a really loud noise. I need something that's going to go loud. I'll tell you what. Oh, man. This is about to get interesting. I'm eating Funyuns. Yeah, I also need that, Martin. Can somebody go fill up this boot? Krigsby! Bang! Krigsby! I need a boot! I need a boot!
Rebel!
Montana!
Let's go!
Everybody spam Rebel Montana! I need another. I want a boot. Give me a boot. Give me a boot. We're going to knock back a boot here on today's show. Shout out to Rebel. We are in a battle against Knicks Now Super Chat battle. I'm going to tell you all this right now. In the 3 years that we've been doing this show, the Raiders Report has never lost. Rebel, tell me what jersey you want. $500 Venmo, and I wear your jersey. You know what, Chuggs? I'm making you run around a lot. We need 2 boots, though. Can you go get my Rebel jersey? Yeah. We're going to put on the Rebel jersey. Get me the Rebel jersey. Oh! Dustin Hill! Bang! I told you, Raider Nation is undefeated. The Knicks Now, fellas, are starting to sweat. What is this? If you're wondering what's in my drink, we're doing Funyuns, which I can't even believe we're doing. If you spam Dustin Hill and Rebel right now, we're giving you a shout out here on the Raiders Report. Coming up, a mailbag. Hope you guys don't mind. I got to change real quick. Let's go. Jaime Alvarado, Brandon, Spam, and Dustin. Raider Rob. Let's go. Hang on. Can you talk for a little bit? I got to switch. We got to switch. Oh my gosh. I can't get it.
Our Knicks and Giants host was talking all that good shit. He was talking all that good until Raider Nation came and punched him in the mouth. Dustin Hill, Anthony, Brian, Raider AJ, Brian Dar, C. Grigsby, Cass, Joey, Pirates Den. Let's go. Raider Muerte, Eric M. Let's freaking go. Because Raiders, they just freaking win. That's what we do.
Well, the Raiders Report does.
Yes.
All right, we need another boot. I need one. I need a boot. I need a boot. What?
How much did you get on?
Cash Joey Chuggs, I'll send another 100 if you do the truffle shuffle from Goonies. He said deal. I don't even know. What is that? What is the truffle shuffle? Do we not have another boot? Chuggs, just fill up the gigantic boot with 3. So I'm going to tell you that we got a gigantic boot that fits 6 beers. Okay? 6 beers. 6 of them. It's kind of outlandish, I'm not going to lie. But oh! Rebel Montana! Bang! Rebel is on a whole nother level right now. That's 3. That looks like a lot. Oh! Cast Joey! Bang! They're sweating. They're sweating over there. Can you feel it? Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs? You know what? Oh, move today! AKA Killer Cruisin'. Jesus. What is the truffle shuffle? Is that it?
Let's go! Let's go!
Is that the truffle shuffle?
Let's go!
Oh my gosh. All right, 2 boots. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Rebel!
Woo! Let's go! Let's go!
Montan! Oh! Bang!
Let's go!
Tell him to update the score. Oh, I am really hurting right now. Woo! Let's get into this mailbag.
Let's go.
What? What? Oh. Oh, my Lord. Oh, Lord. What? Chuggs. Can you ask them to get me 3 new Happy Dads, please?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Hey, Jack, since you're up, can you get me 3 new Happy Dads? Oh, really? I greatly appreciate that. No. No, he didn't get it. Pirates Den with Brave Raider. Who wins a championship first, the Raiders or the Knicks? I'll tell you what, that's a hell of a question. That's a loaded question. I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders, though. Because I'll say this, like, people can talk about the Raiders being a struggling franchise right now. The Knicks are right up there with them. Yes, the Knicks made the playoffs this past season, but I do think making the playoffs in the NBA, a lot different than making the playoffs in the NFL. Call me crazy. That's my take. What are you saying? I thought Rolly was talking shit out there. All right, Rolly. Krigsby. What a freaking legend, man. You know what, though? Everybody should say thank you to 2 people. I mean, obviously, Rebel, he's today's MVP. But Cass Joey and Krigsby and then Raider Muerte got the party started. Sometimes a lot of these shows are like a 6th grade dance. You got the guys on one side, and then you got the girls on the other side, and it takes somebody like Raider Muerte, like Krigsby, like Cass Joey, to walk in the center and start dancing. And that's what happened. Rebel, he's like, I need another boot. Rebel, anything you want today, man, you're going to get it. Giggity. Brian, had to put my 365 on the credit card. Hey, every bit helps. Every bit helps today. Raider AJ got into it. Where are we at? Can we get an updated number for Raiders Report against Knicks now? I got to see the updated look. If we get to 300 likes on this show, I don't know what we're going to do. Chokes won't ask you for it. How about that? We got to get to 300 likes. Put a message on Venmo. Stand by. Thank you, Rebel. Anthony said, get your boot on. I'll tell you this, though. I don't know if you see this boot. This is the mega boot. This boot holds 6 beers. The normal boot holds 3, which I know it might not look like it. This holds 6 beers. This holds 3. If you want, this is on the table for today. Oh! John Scheffler! Bang! I gotta get in on it. F the Knicks! John Scheffler! pulling out all the stops. I'll tell you what. Somebody go tell Marsh he's going to have a boot to do.
Oh, these boots are made for drinking, and that's what Marsh is going to do.
These boots were made for drinking. Is he? Good, because we're about to get into a mailbag. Late to the party, but I got to get a super chat in from Aggressive Master Raider. All right. So here's the deal.
Cash Joey, I'll send another 100 if you do the truffle shuffle.
Which you did.
I did.
Yep, you did.
Rebel,
He sent
I saw
his
my
in.
jersey. It's a boot. Rebel sent a hundo and wants a boot now. Call Mitchell Renz, 877 boot now.
Call Mitchell Renz.
Oh, wait, no. You don't get to talk. FSAM.
Are you gonna chug a beer?
All right.
Are you eating your words a little bit?
No, I want you guys to. You've got a new challenge now.
I'm listening.
I just saw a clip on Twitter at the Beer Olympics at Tight End University or whatever.
Okay.
Taylor Lewan.
Yep.
Down to boot.
Yep.
In 4.23 seconds.
How big is the boot?
It's that 3-beer boot.
Oh, I don't know, because you can buy a boot online that's 2 beers. Unless I see him do 3 beers in it.
I'll take a look again. I looked at it twice. It looked like that same size, like that same thing.
I don't see. Here's the thing, though. So if you look at this, though, this is 6. This is 3.
Maybe we see if you can drink 2 beers in 4.23 seconds.
I can't. I know someone who could. I can't do it. I know someone that can.
I mean, we can out-eat NFL offensive linemen. Might as well be able to out-drink them.
Hey, you ready? I'll do the eating competitions. If you just challenge NFL players to drinking competitions.
We're 400 away from 2K. I'll try to beat his record once we get there.
I'll do more research on them.
Yeah, you got to find out how big that boot skadoot is.
This was the 100 sent in for the truffle shuffle.
Correct. So Scheffler gets 2 beers, and Rebel wants a boot. That's 5. That's an uphill battle. So we're gonna do that after the mailbag. Sound good? 5 beers after the mailbag. That's the deal.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That looks like a
So Sam's, is it? That's the thing, though. Like, my point is, unless I actually know that it's 3 beers, because this to me doesn't look like 3 beers bigger than this.
For sure. No, I agree with you there.
Like, this is 6 beers, 3 beers. Venom says he's lying. I don't know. Update the score, please, from Ron C.
I'm just looking at it because they're holding him with both hands.
So if you hold it with both hands, that's all that matters. Got it. I'll tell Alex. Yeah, we're going to try to update the score here.
Also,
we got a few people
is
asking
that
for
an
the
official
score.
time?
I think you could challenge
1
him, Chuggs.
Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Maybe 4.5 seconds.
You gotta ask, how many beers is it? I don't know.
Okay, I will say after seeing Will Compton drink it, it might be.
I think it's there's a boot online. I know, I've done a lot of boot research where it's 2 beers. And I've seen Lewan chug a beer. He did that one beer chug at the Milwaukee Bucks game. Kind of a slow chug.
A little bit. I'll give you credit there.
I think it's 2.
We go ahead and say 2 beers. 2 beers and 4.23.
I mean, I believe in chugs. However,
I need to find their Barstool Sports Beer Olympic.
All right, Killa. I'm down. Okay, can we get an updated score and then do the mailbag when you get time? Here is the updated score of the Super Chat battle. Thank you, Rebel Montana, for really separating us right now, because it's this hurts Knicks now. Like, Knicks now got off to a hot start, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. Always remember that. Marathon, not a sprint. So we're going to do a mailbag right now, okay? After that mailbag, Chuggs. Again, this battle goes until 5:30.
So,
or do we go 20 minutes strong here? What do you guys want? Do you want to go like 5-10 minutes really strong or 20 minutes really strong? You want to put our bodies on the line here? What are you down for? You let me know. Rebel, you're the MVP of today's show. Cass Joey, John Scheffler, let me know right now. What do you guys want? What do you guys want?
Sam sits on the boot the horizontal way.
Hey, if the shoe fits. Oh,
Did
Venom.
the Knicks raise the white flag?
I got 5 on it from Mario. He's got 5 on it, which actually now update the score because that 5 put us at 1.7. Now, some of y'all are probably looking at these numbers here and you're like, Mitch, these are crazy Super Chat numbers. This is the friendly reminder that every Super Chat dollar, every Venmo we get, goes back to Chat Sports. It goes back to the Raiders Report, and it goes back to helping us be able to make more content.
I think we have to hold off till 5:30.
I think we got to wait till 5:30 to do the mailbag. I'm with you, Chuggs. There's a lot of yelling going on over there on the Knicks circle. So, I need a
aggressive Master Raider.
Late to the party, but I got a super chat from Aggressive Master Raider. Joshua Johnson also sent in a super chat. You can still read, Mitch. My reading ability is good. And another hour from now, these drinks are going to hit. Can you fill this boot up for Rebel for me? Parish. We're going to get a funnel for the happy dads. All right, Chuggs is going to go fill up the boot. Trace is waving at me. I don't know. I thought he was leaving. So, we are going to do the mailbag in 18 minutes. Oh, you're more than welcome to wave. You want to do a beer bong? There you go. Here's a beer bong for Trizzy Trace.
What's up, guys?
So now we're down to 4.
What's up, lads?
He's helping me out here a little bit. Killa! I want to help out. Let's go, Killa. That'll just... Oh, that was deleted. Oh, my Lord.
Control, Alt, Delete.
All right. Killa. We're going to bring in Killa Cruisin'. He's going to do... Killa, give me 1 beer bong. Then all I got is a boot left. What's up, Killa Cruisin'? Give a shout out to Killa, everybody. I need one beer bong. 1 beer bong, then I got a boot, then we're all caught up. He's going to do a dog bowl. I respect it. We got Killa doing a dog bowl, Chuggs. A literal dog bowl. He stole it from... After hanging out with you for a weekend, that doesn't surprise me one bit. This dude can delete some drinks, man. All right, so he's got the Modelo... I'll tell you what, that's like one of my favorite drinks on the market right now. Here we go. Now we're just staring into the abyss. Everybody spam Killa right now down in the chat. Come on, Killa. Dog bull, dog bull, dog bull, dog bull. Let's go! Shout out to Killa Cruisin'. You might see him later if I need some help. Everybody spam Killa right now for stepping up here on the show and taking down a beer bong. I mean, Chuggs. I know, Killa's dog right now is like, wait a minute. What's happening? All right, this boot is for Rebel. And he needs a boot now. Call Mitchell Renz 877 boot now. All right, y'all. If you don't spam Rebel Montana right now down in the chat, chances are You eat corn the long way. That's what I've been told. That's what I've been told.
Oh,
if you guys want us to take down some dog bulls, we actually have a dog bull here in the studio.
We banged for it.
We banged for it.
But
I'm listening.
I didn't throw up the graphic for my guy. So while you take down your beer, this one's for Rebel freaking Montana. Rebel Montana, Rebel Montana, Rebel Montana, Rebel Montana. Let's go! Get your Rebels in the chat! Let's go! Rebel, Kobe putting the team on his back, helping the Raiders Report take down Knicks Now. They were beating us for a while until Rebel came in with the big guns. Woo!
All right. You can send over to Knicks Now if they want to wave their white flag. We are all caught up on drinks. PG, what up, bitch? Put this towards the boot. I'll make you guys a deal. We are 300 away from another boot.
I'll try the 2 beer to break Lawan's record.
Okay. I'm down. And if you don't break the record, I'll do a freedom funnel in honor of Hellcat Q.
Let's get it.
I'll tell you what, this is going to be one hell of an interesting show.
They're still at 1.
Yeah, I think
I asked, do you guys concede?
if they want, they can just come over here now and do the boot. So what I'm worried is, okay, I think what you got to send them is if they get like a monster, we get like at least some time to respond. Or is this hot potato? Right? Like what if they got some guy like New York Knicks Ron over there who sends in something? F the Knicks. I know this has been a little bit of a different Tuesday show, but we got out the Josh Jacobs news, I think. Let me double check. If not, I'm not going to be a happy camper.
Sperry fired.
I didn't say it. You did. It's out. We're good. Sperry gets to keep his job. So.
Close call.
He's got his headphones in, so he's definitely listening right now. I'm going to wave to him, see if he waves back. No, he's definitely.
No, he's listening to the.
He's trying to see if he's going to get McDonald's later or not tonight. The answer is probably yes, Sperry. The answer is probably yes. What up, PG? Dustin. I'll tell you what. I'm feeling good. I've definitely been more sober. And what's funny about tonight is I got a bright and early flight tomorrow morning. I'm going home to see the fam.
I never asked you, is Alex going as well?
Oh yeah. She's gonna come hang out. The fam's gonna meet her first time as fiancés, so it's kind of a big deal. But Chuck's got a babysitter tonight. So he's not gonna be sleeping over at our place, so we gotta go drop him off at Alex's friends. And I've met Alex's friends maybe like 2 or 3 times. However, I'm going to go there and I'm going to reek of alcohol. And again, not everybody knows what I do. Like, I don't tell many people like what I do for a living. And some of Alex's friends know. But just think about it in this context. You meet somebody dropping off your dog and they reek of alcohol and beer and it's Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some alarms going off in your head like, all right, I don't necessarily know what's going on here. Something's not good, though. Something's not good. All right, this is Raiders Report Super Chat battle against Knicks Now. I don't know about you. Earlier on this show, I said I want to embarrass them. I want to put the nail in the coffin. Nail in the coffin. So, the deal is this. I have, how many beers up here? I got a few beers up here. Every $50 super chat right now. Okay? Every $50 super chat, I'm doing a beer bong. Let's put the nail in the coffin. That used to be my dad's favorite term when I was a kid growing up. You're in a sporting event, it's time to put the nail in the coffin. Let's end it. Let's end this battle. Are you guys down? $50 super chat right now. Beer bong. That's the deal. Let's end this. We got 10 minutes left of this New York Knicks Now Raiders Report super chat battle. Unless Marsh wants to head on over here right now and admit that he lost and take down a boot. I see the conversations going on. Is there a debate?
I said I'll get the boots ready for you.
Are they both going to do a boot? I say if we double them, they both have to do one. You know what?
Patrick's saying,
what?
Can we both do a shot fun instead of just Marsh doing a boot?
No. They still owe me one more. That's the problem. It's boot is 3. Shot fun race is 2. So the math's not adding up. The math's not mathing up. I was told boot. What do you? So here's what they want, nation. You guys are the ones that are helping me win. Okay. We won today. Okay, we won today. Well, it's not over yet. So they're saying, can they do a shot fun race? So 1 beer apiece, or do we make one person do a boot? What do you guys want? Or we make them do each 1.5 beers. Rebel wants a boot. Rebel, like I said earlier in today's show, Rebel, whatever you want, you're going to get today. So, Rebel wants a boot. He's going to get a boot now. Yeah, I see nothing but boots. I see nothing but boots. Tell Seeps if he wants to take the boot for Marsh, he can. Yeah, I want a boot too. I mean, don't get me wrong. Chugging a beer is tough. Chugging 2 beers, very tough.
I said, Rebel wants a boot. Now call Mitchell Renz 877 boot now.
Oh, I love it. Doing a boot, though, for anybody that's ever tried a boot, and there's been some people in the chat right now that have tried some boots. And I think Rebel, who was at our Raiders event, 3 weeks ago, you can see how tough it is in person. Like, if you don't realize how difficult it's going to be, it's tough. What are they saying?
Patrick's pushing the shot fun narrative.
All right, how about this? I'll make them a deal. If they each do 2 shot fun races, so it's back-to-back, that's 4 beers. That's the deal. If they do back-to-back shot fun races, I mean, I don't know what else to do. Eric Mendoza says boot. So instead of one guy doing 3 beers, we get 2 guys to do 2 beers. It's got to be back-to-back. Rebel said, I tried to chug it with 1 liter and I need to breathe. See, the key to doing a boot is it's got to be warm beer. Warm beer, and you got to pour the beer before, like, Chuggs and I, we pour, I'll admit, sometimes we waste some beer. It's just spoiler alert. But, like a literal spoiler alert. But you got to pour out the beer before you bring it on the show. Because if it's a flat beer, it's a lot easier. Shocking. If it's ice cold, good luck. You don't got a shot. I did that and waited about 20 minutes. Now, Rebel, you got to wait hours. Pour out the beer in the morning. Come back to it like 4 or 5 hours later. And then you do the boot. It's a lot easier then. It's like doing a boot, like when Chuggs and I go to our events and stuff, doing a boot that's ice cold and fully carbonated, that's rough.
Oh, dude.
It's unbelievably tough.
The boot I did at the wing eating contest, it was ice.
It was. Now, you were also, you had a few drinks in you before. So I think
there was
drinks
a lot of
consumed.
stuff going on.
Thank you, Killa. However, it is what it is. We got 5 minutes left. Ask Seeps if we double their super chat total, boot race. We got 5 minutes. They're complaining about 1 boot. Well, if we double their super chat total, we make 2 people do a boot race. Whether they like it or not, I'm going to answer it for them, and the answer is going to be yes. If we double Knicks Now and Supers, they aren't just going to do 1 boot, because they have a producer too, who's also part of this competition. If we double their number, they're doing a boot race. And right now, we are up, as the number you can see. We're 300 away from doubling their total. Oh, what do you say?
They're in trouble.
They're in trouble.
They've written some checks that they can't cash.
Oh, really?
They thought they were gonna win, so he says they already owe 2 boots over on Nick.
Oh, that's a shame.
Knicks.
Well, tell them to come over here and do it. Head on over. Let's go. Catch those checks. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but they already owe 2 boots. The unfortunate part is when you cash checks, is that the right term? When you make checks that you can't cash?
When you write checks that you can't cash.
Oh! Coffin. I want you to tell Seeps right now, him and Marsh both owe me a boot here on the Raiders Report. I said if we double them. Let's go. Both of them, 5:30. I want them here, unless they don't get doubled. If they don't get doubled, they don't have to come over here. If they get doubled, I want 2 boots here on the Raiders Report. Mount Raidermore. I literally feel like, because Tri-Van is like the ultimate Jaws. And you're like, what the hell does that mean, Mitch? I think the beers are kicking in. The answer to that, you're right. Tri-Van's the guy. He's been sitting here for 20 minutes lurking. And then all of a sudden, you get closer and closer to the end. The music gets louder, and then Tri-Van.
Bang!
That's Tri-Van. He's been lurking, man. He's been waiting. Rebel, next in line. I don't know what that means. But you know what? If we double them, I'm going to beat both of them in a boot race. And it's going to be my 3rd boot. Or Seeps is tough. I can beat Marsh. This mailbag might get sloppy, though. I'm going to tell you that right now. Spam Tri-Van right now in the chat for putting the nail in the coffin. Rebel Montana made the coffin. And then you got guys like CJ, who they started putting it together. Then you got a guy like Cass Joey that said, hey, wait, let me be a pallbearer. Let me carry that Knicks Now coffin. John Scheffler said, wait a minute, that looks a little heavy. Let me hop on over and let me get a part of this game here. Dustin Hill said, but wait, I want to get an extra hand in this as well. And then we got Pirates Dean. We got Killer Cruisin'. We got Move Today. Aggressive Master Raider chiming in. I mean, what an absolute Raider Muerte. He's literally Muerte.
If you'd like to give your condolences to Marshall and Patrick, just type RIP, Super Chat RIP Marsh.
Get those RIPs going in the chat. Where's that Knicks Now? Can somebody send me the Knicks Now? Where are they at? Hang on.
Or actually, how about this?
How about we just go spam RIP on their stream?
I love that.
Knicks Now. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Hang on. I'm going to put the link here in the chat, y'all. I want y'all to go spam RIP on that link right there.
R.I.P. Marsh.
Oh.
R.I.P. Marsh.
RIP. I mean, it's both of them. RIP's in the chat. They're in trouble. They both just did a boot. RIP. RIP. Oh, they're struggling. They're struggling right now. Wow, I got blocked from sending more messages. How is that possible? Spam those RIPs. Look at him. He's hurting. He looks like he just ran a marathon.
Oh, dude, I know he's sunburnt, but he looks really red right now.
Oh, dude, he's hurting. I see. If you want a shout out here on the Raiders Report, go spam RIP down in the chat. Over on Knicks Now, I see Juan Hernandez, Jaime Alvarado Sr., Emilio, Dodgers Everything, PG 2869. Keep the RIPs flowing. And if you want to vote, pick a player to sign, go for it.
I'll sign Seth Curry.
Spam those RIPs. Raider Muerte, Emilio, Kyler, Charles. Get over here. And I need 2 boots. Stop the count. Stop the count. Knicks Now, after round and found out. I also said 2 boots, and look at Seep's face and look at Marshall's face. They're like, oh no. They're scared. They're like, wait a minute, we only agreed to 1, but guess what? They're gonna do 2, because we doubled them. Let's go. Oh man. 2 boots.
Did you see what I put in there?
What? No. Marsh and Seeps. 2 boots, Marsh and Seeps. Here we go. Oh, they're gonna do this. Oh man, here we go. Feels good. Feels good. You know what's funny? You know somebody's really upset when right now all the Knicks fans are like, they cheated. You know somebody's upset when they're like, they cheated. What up, LA Crash Dog? I'm awake. What's up, fam? What did I miss? We had a super chat battle against Knicks Now. And we doubled them. They got off to a hot start. And I quote, was never scared. I not for a second was I nervous. Raider Nation has never failed. Yep. RIPs to Marsh. Get them going. Yeah, I almost feel bad for the guys.
Martin, fair play, lads.
Eric just super chatted over on Knicks Now because he felt so bad. Oh, man, I love it. I love it. All right, Jeremy, let's get into this mailbag here, and then we'll let the 2 losers walk over here and do 2 boots. Whether they like it or not, they're doing 2 boots here today.
Oh, good.
Love it. Love it. It's mailbag time here on the Raiders Report.
You hate to see it.
You love it. Eric Mendoza sending another over on Knicks. Rip from the Raiders. Love it.
Holy crap.
Oh, my God. It is just a PG, don't be a meow. Jimmy G taking them to the promised land from Johnson. Oh, yeah.
Everybody go over there and
love it.
Spam Waller if you're in their chat.
Oh, dude. I think we just throw in some RIPs, F. Waller. Who wants to see a mailbag? Martin said he had to sell his audience. I mean, the problem is when you write checks that you can't cash, it's tough. It's a tough world to live in. So I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a mailbag here. I also have a whole nother segment I have to do. And then after that, we'll see where this show leads us. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I know this, though. I don't got much drinking left in me. I'm feeling pretty good right now, if you can't tell. Shout out to Rebel. Shout out to Trivan. I put the Batman signal into Mount Raider more. And like I said, Trivan, I'm sure, he was just waiting. He was just waiting. Oh, Nick's, that channel is mad. They are big mad. LA, have they not learned by now? I don't think so. I don't think that they have learned by now, unfortunately. They're so upset that they're talking Raiders content during NBA free agency, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So, coming up right now here on the Raiders Report, I think it's time to get into a mailbag. So if you super chat, we're going to get this back on track here for some Raiders questions. Super chat to skip the line. Hashtag Raiders. Get your questions, comments featured here on the Raiders Report. I think it's time for this. Time for a mailbag. But seriously, shout out to all y'all that help us win this battle. I wouldn't be able to do today's show. I wouldn't be able to do any of our shows here if it wasn't for our diehard audience out there. So if you could, I'm going to pull one out of my old 5th grade teacher's bag. Pat yourself on the back right now. You guys deserve it. Best fans in all of sports. Shout out to all of y'all. It's time to get into a mailbag. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. And today's show is sponsored by Conzuri. If you're looking for some height-boosting shoes, I mean, I don't know about you. If I could get an extra 2.8 inches right now, I think I would take it. And you can too. Go to Conzuri.com/chat. 15% off. And with our special order link, you can also get up to 45% off. So if you want to get your questions featured here on today's show, all you got to do, use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat. Get those questions, comments featured on today's show. First one, rolling in here from Oscar Serrano. What happens if he doesn't sign before the 17th? He's talking about Josh Jacobs. If he doesn't sign before the 17th, essentially he's saying that, hey, I want to hold out, which if Jacobs ends up holding out, I don't think that he's a member of this team. I do think that the Raiders end up getting a contract extension done with Josh before that ends up going down. To me, it's extension, it's franchise tag, and then all the other possibilities are way down here. Neither side wants that to happen. Let's go to Patrick. What up? I do want JJ to be at training camp, of course, but about the defense, in your opinion, can we be the top 15 defense this year? If so, who steps up when stars go down? It's a great question. I do think this defense has the ability to be top 15, and that's a lot considering the fact that the Raiders haven't had a top 20 defense in a very, very long time. However, last season, a lot of people thought this Raiders offensive line was going to be one of the worst in the NFL. Good coaching, a good regime, a few players stepping up, helped them be a top 12 O-line. I do think if a few players like a Trevon Merrick, Divine Deablo, and Nate Hobbs, if they step up, if Tyree Wilson's healthy, if Chandler Jones can play at a high level, if Max Crosby continues to do what he's doing, if Rob Leonard, one of the best defensive line coaches in the NFL, can get this unit all to play together, this can be a talented roster, no doubt about it. Let's go to Dylan. If Jacobs is traded, what is his top destinations? It's a great question. I think when you talk about Jacobs getting dealt, you got to think about teams that are aggressive / teams that need a running back. The Philadelphia Eagles will for always be a team that I'll keep in mind. I'll say the Minnesota Vikings, another team since they no longer have Dalvin Cook. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Los Angeles Rams, and then the Washington Commanders are all teams that I would say you could keep an eye on. So, my question to you is this. Do you think the Raiders end up trading Josh Jacobs? I want you to type T for trade, or I want you to type K for keep. Do you think the Raiders end up keeping their star running back here? Let me know down in the comment section right now. Let's go to the next super chatter question rolling in here from Alan Spice. Tyree, possibly a linebacker. I don't think he's going to be a linebacker, but they're going to use him as an athlete. And the more and more the NFL starts to develop, right? Like, remember, we used to only talk about players as defensive ends, and now they're edges. There's different spots. Tyree Wilson is going to line up as an inside defensive tackle at times, right? Like, the Raiders are going to use Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, Tyree Wilson. That's what it's going to be. If they want to line him up as an outside linebacker, they're going to be able to do that. If they want to line him up as a hand-in-the-dirt defensive end, they're going to be able to do that. People like Tyree Wilson do not grow on trees. He is an absolute freak athlete, and there is no doubt about that. Like, to me, Wilson is a unbelievable type of player, and he's going to get his opportunities to play, and he's going to be playing a lot this upcoming season for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, today's show is sponsored by Conzuri, and if some of you are like, well, Mitch, tell me about Conzuri here a little bit. Luckily, they have unbelievable shoes that are going to not only elevate your height, they're also going to elevate your wardrobe as well. So the Raiders Report is presented by Conzuri. Fellas, have you ever wished you were a little bit taller? Maybe you matched on Tinder, but her profile says must be over 6 feet. Maybe your date wants to wear heels, but she can't because it'll make her taller than you. Well, sorry, if I just described you, don't worry, I was in those shoes at once. I have you covered here with today's sponsor, Conzuri. Conzuri makes shoes that make you up to 2.8 inches taller without anyone knowing. Look, girls get heels, makeup, and push-up bras. Why can't men get a boost in confidence too? Conzuri shoes are not only height-boosting, but also stylish and comfortable. They're not grandpa's Velcro shoes, but fashionable shoes that can receive compliments even without the height increase. The height insoles are integrated into the shoes, making it the ultimate height hack. For a limited time only, our listeners get an extra 15% off your order at Conzuri.com/chat. The site is already 30% off, and with our link, you get an extra 15%. That's 45% off your entire order. Support our show and check them out at Conzuri.com/chat. Life's short, but you don't have to be. It's time to level up the playing field, boys. Maybe update that dating profile to 6 foot. Conzuri is an absolute game changer when it comes to elevating your wardrobe. So to me, anytime I can find something that's going to help me out in my dating life, and I love Alex to the end of the mood and back, right? Like, that's my girl. That's my fiance. But, you know, she's like always like this height. She likes to wear heels. I'm going to go to this height. When I wear Conzuris, it goes back down to this height, which I definitely like, and I know she does too. So seriously, go check out these shoes. I think you're definitely going to like them. Let's go to Raider Rob 1969. Does the undrafted LV linebacker look good so far? I believe you're talking about Drake Thomas, UDFA from North Carolina State, and everything I have heard, yes. Like, he is a unbelievable player. And sometimes, the thing that I hate about the NFL Combine is sometimes the NFL Combine puts athletes over good football players. Drake Thomas is a very good football player. The stats show it, the highlights show it, but he's not 6 foot. Maybe you should get some Conzuris. And he might not have the speed, the athleticism of some of these other players. But you know what? I like guys who are around the football a ton. Like, Max Crosby did not have the best NFL Combine numbers out there. He had a good Combine, not the best. But you know what? Crosby loves football. Crosby works his ass off. Crosby also always finds himself around the ball. And sometimes it's hard to put a true number on certain things. But if Drake Thomas always finds himself around big-time plays, if he always finds himself around the football, I'll bet on those guys. And yes, Thomas has been one hell of a player so far. Let's go to Rob. If Jacobs holds out this season, do you think Zamir White can go for 1,000 yards on our offense this upcoming year? Do I think he can go for 1,000 yards? Yes, I do. A lot of times when you look at running backs, and the reason why running backs are a little bit more undervalued in this day and age is because a lot of it has to rely on the offensive line. If you don't have a good offensive line, you're not going to be very productive. Think about Josh Jacobs in 2021 compared to 2022. The offensive line played like a top 12 unit. The offensive line in 2021 did not play like a very good unit. Same running back, different results. I like Zamir. He's in much better shape. He's a lot faster this season. He's definitely motivated, and it's one of the reasons why if Jacobs holds out, he's going to be on a different team because this organization believes in Zamir White. Let's go to Raider Dave. Who wins this trade? Jacobs for Vita Vea straight up. Oh, shit. This is going to be a very unpopular answer. But guess what? If it is straight up, okay, and I mean as straight up as can be for this mailbag trade idea, I'm probably going to say the Raiders win this deal. Jacobs is a hell of a running back. No doubt about it. Vita Vea is one of the best defensive tackles in the league, and it fills a major need for this team. Yes, Vea's 28, Jacobs is 25, but to me, you can still get a solid 3, 4, 5, 6 years out of defensive tackles. Like, look at a guy like Fletcher Cox. He's still playing at a high level. He's 33 years old. Defensive tackle, especially when you have the versatility that Vea has. I'm telling you right now, if the Bucs offered us this deal, I would take Vita Vea on our defense every single day of the week. But hey, what do you guys have to say? Let me know down in the comment section right now. Raiders receive Vita Vea. Bucs receive Josh Jacobs. Who wins this deal? Type LV for the Las Vegas Raiders. Or I want you to type TB for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's go to the next one. Rolling in here from Robert Jansen. Trade Renfro, Bolden, Robertson, and tradable others for picks, and more picks. Pay Jacobs and sign more D. I understand that people want to trade Renfro, but if nobody's going to trade for him, then you're not going to be able to move on from him. But yeah, you traded Renfro, that's 11.3. You trade Bolden, that's 2.3. So let's just call that 14. Robertson, you're not going to trade him. So let's say you're saving $14 million by moving on from some of those players, but Bolden, nobody's going to trade for him. Yeah, I would say if you cut all these guys, you're saving about $15 million. That's essentially what you're saying. And yeah, you could use that money to go out and pay Josh Jacobs and sign more free agents. What I'm worried about is that the Raiders don't end up doing that. Let's go to Jersey Boy Greaser. Do you think Chandler Jones plays linebacker this season? Also, F the Knicks and F the Donkeys and their washed QB. I do think Chandler Jones does play a little bit of outside linebacker. I think it's one of the reasons why he slimmed down a little bit. I also, if you're Jones, you're looking at the fact that the Raiders restructured your contract. You're looking at the fact that the Raiders have a voidable years on your deal. The fact that the Raiders went out and drafted Tyree Wilson. If you're Chandler Jones, you're looking yourself in the mirror right now. You're like, all right, shit. They're trying to replace me right now, which you're going to carry a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. And for that, yes, Chandler Jones is going to play outside linebacker when Tyree Wilson has his hand in the dirt playing defensive end. If you're looking for more Raiders analysis, more Raiders news, rumors, and all the good stuff, hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications right now. That way, you never miss any Raiders news and you never miss any Raiders updates. If you want to give a shout out to some of the new subs here on the Raiders Report, you can do it. Jason, Robert, Connie, Uncle Black, and Ain. I want to salute all of y'all for taking time out of your day to subscribe to the Raiders Report. And since it's the month of June, I need you to take that link down there below, send it to some Raiders fans, and if you could, get them to subscribe to the Raiders Report. Let's go to K-Smooth. If we trade Jacobs, do we go after someone like Cook or roll with that we have? Oh, man. If we trade Jacobs, do we go after someone like Cook? I'll tell you this. If the Raiders trade Jacobs, okay, it would not surprise me, and this has been something that I talked about, I'm going to say 2 months ago, when all the Dalvin Cook rumors started to pop up here about him being released or traded by the Vikings. I do think Dalvin Cook will be an option for the Raiders. Why? The Raiders love connections. The Raiders love relationships. And at the end of the day, you know, Kennedy Polamalu was the running back coach for Minnesota. It's one of the reasons why the Raiders went out and got Amir Abdullah. So because of that, you know, I could see Dalvin Cook being an option. Let's go to Hank_655. ESPN is saying to avoid Josh Jacobs in fantasy. Your thoughts? I think it depends what you look at. Like, if you look at all the numbers, right? And I'm a big numbers guy, which all y'all know. So I know ESPN has done a lot of research. And when you talk about running backs that have had 300 carries, the 300 carry mark is a scary, scary number. And the reason why I say that is over the past, I think it's like 10 years, 12 years, you go all the way back and you look at the running backs that have had over 300 carries. The following season, On average, they have only played 12.5 games the next season. That's also when you look at a 16-game sample size. So let's say you get 13.5 games from Josh Jacobs. 13.5 games means he's missing at least 3 games. Are you still going to pay a running back that much money? And are you going to draft a running back that early, considering the fact that he's coming off a 300 rushing season? He's had a heavy workload. He is only 25 years old, but Jacobs has had some minor injuries where if he gets that big-time contract extension, he might not try to play through it. Other people that I want to give shout-outs to are the people a part of the Noti gang / retweet gang. Shout out to Martin, Thomas, Sean, Free Fly, Jedi, and Albert. If you guys don't know, when I put out something on Twitter, I like when you retweet it. And if you do, hey, I'll give you a shout-out here on the Raiders Report. What up, Raider X? If Jacobs doesn't play, Kareem Hunt or Elliott. First off, Kareem Hunt will never be a Raider because of friend Politikoff. The Raiders are against, we'll just call it domestic violence. So Kareem Hunt will never be a player on the Raiders. And Zeke, I don't really want Zeke. I personally don't want him. Could I see the Raiders potentially rolling with him? Sure. He'd have to be on a cheap deal, though. If you're the Raiders, though, and you're not going to bring back Jacobs because of the contract, why go pay another running back? If you're going to pay another running back like Hunter Elliott, you're going to pay him, $4, $5, $6 million a year? Or you just pay that extra $5 million to go out and get Jacobs. So instead, you just pay Zamir White. That's what ends up happening. What up, Free Fly? Mitch, if McSuckstick really does plan to blow the season, what's the reason? What is he trying to get out of it? He's trying to rebuild. He's trying to get a Drake May. He's trying to get a Caleb Williams. I mean, that would be the only answer that I would be able to wrap my mind around. I don't get how you can pay guys millions of dollars and not try to win games when you're also trying to get your fan base to pay thousands of dollars to go to games. What up, Shane? If O'Connell balls out, this preseason and Jimmy struggles to get on / stay on the field, do you start the rookie on day one or in the middle of the season? If Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy, he will be your Raiders starter, quarterback. He will. And that's the plan. Now, don't get me wrong. If O'Connell really goes out there and balls out, the most recent thing I can think of in my head was the Tony Romo / Dak Prescott type of thing where Romo was injury prone, Dak went out there and balled, Romo ended up getting hurt. You could see a situation like that. I think deep down the Raiders want to roll with Jimmy G this season, and if they're wow, Aiden O'Connell looks really freaking good, then maybe they turn over to him later on in the year if they're not winning games. But if Jimmy G is going out there and he's healthy and he's winning games, that's going to be the guy that they end up rolling with. All right, y'all, that's going to be the end of today's mailbag. Huge shout out to all of you tuned in right now watching the show. And again, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I want you to hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications right now, and make sure that you never miss any videos here on the Raiders Report. All right, friendly reminder that we are doing a Super Chat battle. However, we already won. The deal was $530. It was. But the deal was the deal. We won.
You got to message them that. They're saying they want us to come over there right now and do 2 boots.
I mean, we won. So let me hear you out. So if I shake your hand and I say, hey, here's the deal, is that the deal? $530. Yes. Yes. If Marshall and Seeps can come over here right now, look me in the eyes and say that we didn't agree to $530, I'll quit my job right now. Because we agreed on $530. So, that's great. They're live. I'm saying we won the bet. You could slack them that. Tell them right now, come over here, look me in the eyes and say that we didn't agree to $530. That's what, seriously. Go get them. How about this? Here, you hop.
Okay. No, here, I'll just do it from here. Hold on.
I'm going to go over there and tell them right now. Now, hey, if you guys want to keep battling with Knicks now, we can do it. However, I'm going to tell you all this right now. That's what we agreed on.
All right, you're good. You can go over there. Oh, wow. This is quite the development. What do y'all think? Should we keep on battling them, or was it over? Did they cheat? What do you give me your thoughts in the comments? Did they cheat? How is that cheating? Calling on your fans to help out? Daniel Jimenez, basically, we're in a super chat battle with Knicks now. We had one. It was supposed to be 5:30 was the cutoff. After that, they had some random guy send over $1,100. Mitch is over there pleading his case. I don't know. Oh, did they turn off? Is their stream off? Are they still live? I don't know. Now I'm really confused. What for those watching it over there, what happened? They ended their stream?
They are kind of being a little. They're trying to say that they won. Here's the thing, though, right? You guys can hear me out here. We agreed on 5:30 as their time, so 6:30 our time. However, they did just end their stream. We have a whole nother segment. Okay. I don't know. In my book, I'm gonna say that I believe we won. However, they said if we beat their number, that they're both going to come on this show and that they're going to delete some drinks. Marsh, though, I'll tell you this right now, is seeing ghosts. Like, dude is toast. He is white.
Oh my God.
They cashed some serious checks out there. I mean, it's a disaster.
They got bottle service, and now the check is at the table.
And now they're asking who can pay. They're asking strangers on the street.
Can you split this 3 ways?
Yeah. Alan Spice, they mentioned your name over there. They said, I don't know who Alan Spice is, but that guy is wild. So,
yeah,
I'm going to say this. I do feel like we won. They're being a little, at the end of the day, we set a time, but they did end their live stream already, and they do have a sizable lead in terms of the end of it. So, it is what it is. Here's what I want to do, though. I'm not going over there to drink a boot. No, I will not. I will drink a boot here. If we beat this number here and there is a undisputed, like again, I already think we won,
and
I will do the 6 beer boot. I will have to end the show after that, but I will do the 6 beer boot.
If what?
If we beat 3.1, I'll do the 6 beer boot.
Well, I was going to say, regardless, I'll do a boot after this segment because I feel like y'all have at least earned a boot from somebody.
Oh, they're going to drink over here. They will 100% drink over here. 100%.
Oh.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, y'all. Jaime, I'm with you. They know. So, here's what we're going to do. We got one more segment that we got to get into. I got to pee, though, so bad.
So before the segment.
I got to pee.
Okay.
I cannot hold it anymore. I got to go. I got to pee. So, Chuggs, we're going to take it over to you when we get back, a segment here on the Raiders Report.
All right. And actually, I do have a question for the audience. I want to know, what is the coolest football nickname of all time? You got the Fridge, you got Sweetness, you got Mean Joe Green, you got Dave Casper. I want to know, what are the best football nicknames of all time? Beast Mode, Megatron, the Assassin. That's a great one. The Cheatriots. I like that one. The Assassin, Jack Tatum. Jaime saying Raiders. He hate me. Scary Terry, the Butt Fumbler, Megatron, Darth Raider, Lyle Alzado, the Nigerian Nightmare, the Sheriff, Ironhead, the Comeback Kid, Frank Reich, the Snake, Harry, best football nickname of all time. Like best football nickname of all team. Or no, not team, player. Megatron, the Beast Mode. The Fridge, I said that. The Refrigerator Perry. Sweetness is a great one. Sweetness is a great one. LT. Also, this is a great time to bring up the debate. Adrian Peterson, what's his nickname? Adrian Peterson, what's his real nickname? AD?
For all day.
I've heard AD, I've heard AP.
Oh, I've heard both, but it's AD.
Mad Max is the Condor. There's a heated office debate on AD or AP.
By the way, do Raiders fans, have they turned on Carr after today? Completely?
We have not asked them about that.
Ask them. How do y'all feel about Carr?
How do y'all feel about Derek Carr?
David sucks.
Yeah, David's trash. How do we feel about Derek Carr? The Juice, OJ. Great nickname. The Juice is loose. Oh, God. Oh, na-na. Da-da. All right, so I'm gonna cut it to Marshall Green.
Look, guys, I want to give you credit. It was a great effort. It was a great effort from you guys. Renz, Chuggs, they have no reason to not be proud. They are extremely proud. But in life, you don't always win. And today, you just didn't. And that's okay. You guys were undefeated. Mount Raider Moore never lost. They never lost until today. June 27th, 2023, Mount Raider Moore goes down.
The show's not over.
The show goes on. The show goes on. I already told Mitch, if you guys can get to 3-1, I'll do a boot. I'll do a beer shotgun already because I respect you guys. But if you can beat 3-1, I'll do a boot for you guys. Is that fair? I think it's fair. Creaser was in the chat on Knicks. Got bodied by Rob Rodriguez.
So obviously, we made a deal. We won. People are upset. But due to Schloss from Jossie, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. These guys, they are all sorts of effed up. A tortilla slap for Marsh. Problem is, he's got really bad sunburn right now. I don't know. I'm not going to do that. Raider AJ, I'm hurting right now. I'm not going to lie. Coolest football nickname of all time? I like the Ghost. Mad Stork. I use the Snake a lot. What is it? You guys want to tell him? It's all good. Lyle. Some might pronounce it like that. Dr. Death is a great nickname. I'll let you do this. Pronunciation guide. We'll get it set up. We'll get it set up. All right, y'all. We got one more segment here on the Raiders Report. Got a segment around Bleacher Report. 3 players that the Raiders should sign Coming up on today's show. So, the caveman, the stork, oh, the freak, Tiny. Tiny's a good one. That's right, Juan Hernandez. All right, one more segment here on the Raiders Report. My question to you is, sponsor is, Fanatics. All right, we got it. Rebel just messaged me. Oh, I like this. Oh, wow. It's cool. All right, Rebel, I got you. I got your message, bro. Yep. I got you. Okay. Here we go. You guys ready to go? Beast Mode's also a hell of a nickname. 250 people watching. He's going to knock back a happy dad.
Who was the guy that sent these in? These were awesome, by the way. Do you remember his name?
Ross Felix.
I know you watched the show. These are awesome, man. Definitely shout out to you for that.
Is this your phone?
Yes, I was looking for that.
Yeah, it's...
All right.
These things are, what are they called? Krakens? Why is that? Oh.
That one's for Borelli. Borelli's my boy. We appreciate you, Borelli.
Borelli's not here.
He was in Knicks for a little bit.
Really?
He came in, he's like, hey, easy now.
Yeah, Borelli.
Borelli, I like you too much. Leave.
Seeps has got his, wait, let me smell it. Ooh, lemon.
The red-headed demon.
Little lemon lime happy dad.
This is for two people, Scheffler and Borelli. That's it.
I like that.
That's it.
That's it.
And Allen. Me and Allen's
Allen's a real one. Though Rebel to get this jersey, he's why you're doing that. And it's for Rebel. I got you. Hey, potentially. Happy Dad is going down. Spam Raiders right now down in the chat. So, because I already know how these guys work. He is. I mean, these guys just consumed a rather large amount of alcohol on Knicks.
I heard Patrick brushes his teeth with only his head moving.
Correct. He does not use his forearms, his hands, nothing when he brushes his teeth. Only his head.
He actually tapes the toothbrush onto the wall, Mitch.
That's what I hear. You know, I also heard that Patrick can taste a popsicle just by sitting on it. It's impressive.
Good sports.
Congratulations.
Good sports.
All right, y'all. Who is ready to get into this final segment here? I don't know about you. Oh, boy.
I'm so happy he did that. I was really not looking forward to taking a boot.
I mean, the deal was the deal.
I know. I know.
Good sports from Allen. I agree. They are good sports. I think it's one of those things where I think next time when they make the deal, it's when you end the stream. Because they told me they had to leave early. So I said, all right, we'll go until 5:30, our time, 6:30 Eastern time. So that was the deal. I think next time, though, if they were smart, it's when the stream ends. However, I wouldn't leave.
Did they concede that they did say 5:30?
Yes. I literally walked in there, and they were like, we know. I mean, why do you think they literally came in here? For a reason. Raider Nation's undefeated. That's why. All right. Robert said it best. If they didn't lose, why did they come over and drink? There's your answer.
All right.
Coming up right now, a Raiders segment here. And then, unfortunately, I do have to get going here soon. I got to drop Chuck off at his babysitter's. I got an early flight tomorrow. I'm going to go see some family. So, Rebel said we go into overtime. I'm telling you all right now, if you want to take those guys down, I will have to end the stream after I do it. But if we beat the Knicks number, 3.1, we're 1.1 away. I know, it's a large number. I got a 6 beer boot here. I will do it. I probably won't go well. If you want to see a Megalodon go down, that is the number there. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Just have receipts, that's all. Hell yeah. Hey, Rebel, you've done plenty enough. Honestly, guys, we had a hell of a day. Coming up right now, a segment around the Las Vegas Raiders. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Coming up here on today's show, I'm going to give you my opinion around Bleacher Report's article on 3 veteran free agents that the Silver and Black should sign. So here's exactly what Bleacher Report had to say on the Las Vegas Raiders, which then leads into the 3 free agents that apparently McDaniels and Ziegler should go out and get. What are the Las Vegas Raiders' goals for the 2023 season? It's a fair question to ask after Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler took steps to deconstruct and then reload the roster during the offseason. There's a real chance that the Raiders aren't looking to compete this season and will instead use bridge players like quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo and cornerback David Long Jr. to make it through the campaign while evaluating younger players and building for the future. So when you hear that's what Bleacher Report thinks of the Las Vegas Raiders, that also goes into mind of what type of free agents, that this team could potentially go out and get. So here on today's show, we're going to get interactive like we always do. And if you're watching this live, you'll know I've had plenty to drink today. But hey, that's how the Raiders Report gets down. Do you think that the Raiders are trying to win this upcoming season? If you think that they are, I want you to type W for win. If you're like, nah, this team's trying to tank for a young quarterback, maybe like a Caleb Williams or a Drake May, I want you to spam T for tank right now. This will always be my answer. And don't get me wrong. If it's the 2024 draft and we get Caleb Williams, we get a Drake May, I'll be happy. Those guys are franchise-changing quarterbacks. But in my core of core, okay, like the person that I am, I can't get on board with tanking. If Al Davis is going to say commitment to excellence, if the Raiders' slogan is going to be just win, baby, how are you going to be able to sell fans who are paying thousands of dollars to go see your game? How are you going to pay players and coaches millions of dollars to go out and play a game when people are literally on the front lines losing their lives for you to have the opportunity to do that? If you're going to go out there and tank, shame on you. And I don't think that then you can live by commitment to excellence or just win, baby, if you go and do that. So my thing right now is this. I don't want the Raiders to tank. I just don't believe in it. And if you don't believe in it, and if you believe in commitment to excellence, if you believe in teaching your young ones commitment to excellence, if you believe personally, you wake up every day motivated, then hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because I believe in the same thing. It's why we have dropped a video on this channel every single day for over 4 years at this point. We got some new subs here this month. Shout out to Joe, Be Nice, Nathan, Me Too, Honey. And then Bet, or maybe it's B Tadias, Beto Diaz, 8407. Take that link that you see below, send it to some Raider fans out there, and tell them to subscribe to the Raiders Report. So coming up here on today's show, I got 3 free agents Bleacher Report believes that the Las Vegas Raiders should sign. I'm going to give you my opinion on each of these players and tell you whether or not Silver and Black should go out and get these free agents. The first player on the list is going to create some headlines. It's Dalvin Cook at running back. And the only reason that Dalvin Cook is being featured here is because of all the Josh Jacobs trade rumors out there, franchise tag extension rumors around our star running back. However, this is what Bleacher Report had to say on the Raiders signing Cook. Cook could be a prime alternative by rescinding Jacobs' tag and signing the 27-year-old. The Raiders could save millions off the 2023 cap, create room to sign another veteran, and still have capable back, which to evaluate the rest of the offense. Here's the thing. I know how much the Raiders love relationships. I know how much this Raiders organization loves past regimes that players, coaches have worked with. And that does make me wonder, and this has been a topic that I have brought up on this show before. Hell, I think I brought it up a month ago on a mailbag around a move that the Raiders could make that would upset fans as they move on from Jacobs, go out and get Dalvin Cook. Why? Because Coach Kennedy Polamalu, the Raiders running back coach, previously worked with Dalvin Cook. It's one of the reasons why the Raiders brought in Amir Abdullah, and it's one of the reasons why the Raiders re-signed Abdullah. And I know Dalvin Cook is a big-time name, right? I mean, he's had a hell of a career thus far. Over the past 4 seasons, look at these numbers. They're impressive. He's had over 1,000 rushing yards every season, and he's had at least 6 rushing touchdowns. So when you hear the name Dalvin Cook, when you think of the idea of him suiting up in the silver and black, what do you think about that? Would you want the Raiders to trade Josh Jacobs and go out and sign Dalvin Cook? I want you to type yes, or I want you to type your N for no. And I think this is a really good question because this is a big-time conversation in some NFL news and rumors out there, and there's a lot of conversation going on around the Raiders. And my job is to not only talk about news and rumors, but to give you my analysis and give you my 2 cents. And if I'm being 100% honest with you, no. I don't want the Raiders to move on from Josh Jacobs and then give Dalvin Cook, let's say he gets $8 million a year. Let's say he gets 5. If you're willing to give Dalvin Cook $5 million a year, I would rather you give Josh Jacobs the $10 million per year and make it work. And some of you are like, Mitch, you're crazy for saying that. I'm not. I'm a person that when I watch film, I can pick up things. I also have a lot of people that are very tied to the Minnesota Vikings organization, and they're like, dude, Dalvin Cook's kind of washed. And if you haven't watched a lot of tape, then you just look at the numbers and you're like, oh, Dalvin's a hell of a running back. He's a good back. He's not in the same conversation as Jacobs. So last season, his rushing yards over expected. If you don't know what that is, essentially it's like how many yards he should pick up when he carries the football compared to what he actually does. Last season, he was minus 0.16. That was 22nd in the NFL in rushing yards over expected. The Vikings had a good run-blocking line. They struggled a little bit in the passing game, but you know what? Dalvin, to me, what if he falls off even more from last season? So you're going to move on from arguably the best running back in the NFL to a back that, let's face it, did not play like a top 20 running back last season. ESPN Vikings reporter, who is very tied in to Minnesota, had this to say on Dalvin. He led the NFL with 62 carries that either lost or did not gain a yard. And as ESPN's Bill Barnwell noted, only 34.5% of his carries gained a positive total of yards over expectation in Next Gen Stats model, the second lowest rate among running backs with at least 200 carries in 2022. In other words, Cook was less consistent in 2022 than he has ever been in his entire career. So if you're the Raiders, you're looking at Jacobs, who's coming off an incredible season, who's 25. If you're going to pay Dalvin Cook, it doesn't make sense. It makes more sense for you to pay Josh Jacobs more money than it does for you to pay Cook. And if you don't want to pay Jacobs, then you don't pay Dalvin Cook. You just roll with the running backs you have on your roster. You roll with a Zamir White. You roll with a Britton Brown. You roll with a Sincere McCormick. That makes a lot more sense, and it literally makes more dollars sense if you roll with that route. Bringing in Dalvin Cook, I'm sorry, it's not the smart move for this organization. Now, the 4th of July is right around the corner, and I don't know about you, I'm always the type of person where if I'm going to a certain holiday, I like to rep something that, works with the holiday, and I don't have a lot of 4th of July stuff, I'll be honest. But you know what? I will rep this Raiders t-shirt, which is actually 25% off, and if you want to get your hands on it, you can go to chatsports.com/Raiders4th. That's the link down below. It's in the comments. It's in the description of today's show if you want to get your hands on this shirt, which will be in time for the 4th of July. Now, I am a big fan of this hat here, okay? I think this is a clean hat. It is not on sale, but I promise you this. Once I show this on today's show, it will go quickly. So if you need a 4th of July hat, here you go. This is a clean-looking hat. You can get it at chatsports.com/RaidersUSA. So 2 different links, both available down in the comments. 4th of July, it will come in time if you need something to wear for the holidays, which, I don't know about you, I definitely need. Let's go to the next player here that Bleacher Report could potentially think that the Raiders are going to get. Matt Ioannidis, the defensive tackle who's previously played with the Carolina Panthers, previously played with the Washington Commanders, standing in at 6'3", 310 pounds last season, had 17 tackles and 1 sack. Now, I know a lot of people out there, when they hear defensive tackle, they're like, all right, This is a player that the Raiders should bring in because of how many times I've said the Raiders need to bring in a defensive tackle. This is what Bleacher Report had to say on the free agent defensive team. That sounded weird. Though Las Vegas used the first-round pick on Tyree Wilson, he's expected to slot in as more of a rotation pass rusher than an impact run defender. Aside from adding defensive tackle Byron Young in round 3, the Raiders didn't do a lot to address their front line run defense. So if you're going to talk about defensive tackle, let's look at the current guys right now. I do agree with some of the things that this Bleacher Report writer said. However, okay, Bilal Nichols is going to step up. Where exactly would he fit on this DT line? I'm not 100% sure. Do I think he'd be one of the better players on our line? Yes, I do. But from the logic that Bleacher Report is bringing up is where I have the problem. So look at this next quote here. Matthew Ioannidis is a logical veteran for the Las Vegas Raiders to target in a late free agency. He's capable of playing both on the edge and in the interior, which would give defensive coordinator Patrick Graham some added versatility up front. I know that we love the word versatility, and I know the Raiders love the word versatility. And would he add some of it? Yes, there's no doubt about it. Last season, snaps-wise, 638. Overall PFF grade of 66.4. Run defense grade, 63.5. Pass rush grade of 69.1. He would be one of the better defensive tackles on our roster if it started right now. The problem with that is, though, McDaniels, Ziegler, Patrick Graham, they want to roll with some of the younger guys to see what they ultimately have. Here's the final part of the Bleacher Report segment, if you will. As the Raiders look to build for the future, they desperately need to solve a porous run defense that ranked 23rd in runs per attempt allowed last season. I agree, again, that the Raiders need to get better against the run. The problem with this article is Bleacher Report hints at Matt as being able to add to the run defense. He's not a run stopper. Can he help in the run defense game? Yes, no doubt about it. However, he's a better pass rusher than he is a run stopper. And for the Raiders, you have a player like Nesta Jade Silvera, which, this might sound crazy, Nesta Jade Silvera is a better run stopper than Matt Ioannidis right now. And that's okay. You have him on the roster. With the amount of defensive tackles that this team is going to use, you're going to be able to piece together some certain players. It's just going to be a matter of can Patrick Graham, can Josh McDaniels, can they use them in the right areas? I like Matt Ioannidis. I think the Raiders should go out and get him, but it just depends how much the money is. So, if you want to interact with me on Twitter, Instagram, Cameo, you can always do so at Mitchell Renz 365. And if you're looking for more Raiders live shows, it's on Locals at RaidersReport.locals.com. Let's go to the final player here, and it's been a name that has been mentioned 100 times probably on this show, and a lot of other names. I know, surprising. Marcus Peters. The reason why Marcus Peters is featured here is because he went for a visit with the Raiders back on May 15th. He would be a clear good fit with Patrick Graham. He forces turnovers, which the Raiders desperately need. But more importantly, it's his ability to play in man coverage. Now, this is not what Bleacher Report mentioned. This is me simply just telling you why I agree with the idea of going out and signing the veteran corner. He was targeted last season 28 times, gave up 12 catches for 183 yards, 3 PBUs, and an impressive quarterback rating against him at 81.2. That is against man coverage. Guess what? That's what the Raiders are going to run. So out of the 3 free agents that Bleacher Report mentioned, if you could only sign one, what would you do? You can only sign one. Are you going to go Dalvin Cook type DC? Are you going to go Matt Ioannidis type MI? Or are you going to go with Marcus Peters? Don't show that next one. Type MP. Because to me, I do think that you could look at this a bunch of different ways. So you could look at the running back. You could look at the defensive tackle. You could look at the cornerback from top to bottom. There's no doubt about it. If it was up to me, the way that I would rank these players is this. The number 1 player on my list would be Marcus Peters. He would be the top guy that I would go out and sign because of the need at corner. Then I would go with Matt Ioannidis. I know it might surprise some of y'all because he plays defensive tackle. And then I would go with Dalvin Cook, and he is by far dead last. If you could use your money, you can use your money, what it would take to pay to get Dalvin Cook. You could use that money and go out and get both Marcus Peters and Matt Ioannidis. Hopefully, Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler think that that is the smarter route. If you agree with me and if you like today's show, well then, hey, I got to be doing something right around here. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. That way, you never miss a video here on the Raiders Report. What up, Thunder Lord? Thomas Frazier here. Guess my 10-year-old son made you a YouTube name of mine. So far here, I'm out Thunder Lord Frazier. We have Scotland Estate, so hey, At the end of the day, it's all about family here on the Raiders Report. I'm going to pour one up here for Thomas Frazier. I'm going to pour one up here for Raider Nation for coming out with a big-time win today. Wait, there's a little bit of an LA leaker in here. Shout out to Lord Thunderlord. I don't know if I said that right.
Thunderlord Frazier, yeah. Thunderlord Frazier. Very nice.
Whoo! I'll tell you what. It's been a hell of a day. It's been a hell of a day. You guys should pat yourself on the back. I appreciate the fact that you guys always have my back. Rebel, I got you. Give me 1 second here. So Rebel sent me a Venmo, and he wants me to read this message out loud. Okay. So.
Oh, here, let me put you.
Can you, yep.
Yep, hold on 1 second. 1 second.
All right, this is from Rebel, and he wants me to read this to Raider Nation. Okay? You guys listening right now. All right, I'm going to do my best here. To Connor Booth, I'm happy that you told me that your dad is a Raiders fan in the 1980s. Even he, or you, can't catch up due to the time zone difference. You're still a Raiders family. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Connor, I'm happy that I sent you 2 custom Raiders jerseys for you and your son last month. Later this year, I'll be sending your dad a custom Black Raider jersey, number 99, with the family name Booth on it. Mitch, put the Booth family from the Western Australia on the Jersey Wall of Fame. It will be black jersey, number 99, with the name Booth. Sounds like a good deal to me. Shout out to today's MVP, Rebel Montana, who, I'm telling you this, the next 2 people to join Mount Raider More, Rebel Montana and Patrick B. They are competing. The best part about Rebel that I know Mount Raider More loves is the fact that John Scheffler's up there as well. But the thing that I love that Rebel's doing is he's giving jerseys away back to the nation. And if there's one thing that Mount Raider More always says, Raider Ron, Zahn, Wild One, Borelli, is that it's about giving back to the nation. So, huge shout out to Rebel. Go spam his name right now down in the comments section. This video is not going to go to loop because we did a crazy super chat battle today with Knicks Now. The next time you guys see me live.
We definitely don't need this going to loop and people thinking that they're adding to the...
Yeah, I don't want to do that, and I don't think it's fair. So, the next time you guys see me live will actually be next Tuesday. I am going home for the first time in about 20 months. My mom today, she called me in the middle of work.
I'm coming home.
Dude, she was like,
I'm coming home.
She literally thought I already landed in Danville, which doesn't have an airport. But hey, at the end of the day, I love y'all. I appreciate you. There is going to be no Raiders Friday happy hour unless Chuggs wants to go live, but there is NBA free agency. I will be back live here on the Raiders Report 4th of July, so hopefully you guys tune in. We got some special things coming up here on the show in the month of July. So from me, from Jeremy Chuggs, shout out to all of y'all. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more Raiders videos. I'm out. Shout out to Rebel. Shout out to all y'all for participating in today's live Raiders Report show.